Hey everyone, Lyle here from West Tennessee Gold and Silver Exchange, and today a large collection of 90% constitutional silver, over $100 here, guys, comes into the store. Let's check them for any key dates. Hey everyone, my name is Lyle and I own West Tennessee Gold and Silver Exchange here in Savannah, Tennessee. I do a lot of videos of all of the cool collections that come into the store. Plus I do some unboxing videos, so if you like that kind of content, if you like looking at silver, if you like looking at gold, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all of the cool stuff, like even this, all of the cool stuff that comes into my very small coins shop here in the west part of Tennessee. So today, I got this really large collection of constitutional silver that I believe has never been searched, and I'm going to search through it. We'll go over it together. We'll see if we can find any key dates. I don't think there's going to be any key dates. I think it's more or less just going to be all junk silver, 90% silver, whatever you want to call it. But let's take a look anyways. It might take me a little bit of time because this is over $100. I believe there's $120 something dollars of face value here. So it might take me a little bit of time. Bear with me. We'll check it out, and we'll see if we can find anything cool. We might even be able to find some, well, I guess you can call it uncirculated coins or like uncirculated coins, however you want to call it. There might be some good stuff in here. I don't know. We got a nice assortment of stuff. We got the Mercury dimes, got some Rosies. Rosies don't really have any key dates, so we'll probably just skip all of those. We got some quarters. We know some of the key dates, the 32s, yada yadas. We'll check them out, see if there's anything in there. We got some halves up here. We'll check all of those. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and start sorting stuff. I'm going to do it off camera, so you'll see a cut, and then I'll come back. But I'm going to start sorting this stuff. I'll make little piles. We'll go over the piles, and we'll see if we can find anything cool. Stay tuned, guys. Welcome back, guys. So first up, we have these 90% half dollars. We have a nice mixture of Walking Liberties, some Benjis, and even some Kennedys. So let me just go ahead and separate these guys. And there we go. So we got some 1964 Kennedys right here. They're in pretty good condition. Not really worn at all. Still have mint luster on them. Those are nice. Not really key dates, but 90% silver nonetheless. Next up, we got some Walking Liberty halves. Here's a 1941. Does have okay detail still. Let's check out the reverse. This one's not really a key date either. Very common. So that's a 41. Here's a 43. This one's a little bit worn. Can still see the date. $50. It is a common, and a 42, also very common. And it is in worn condition, but not a slick. You can still see the date very clearly, 1942. Next up, we got the Benjis. Now, Benji doesn't really have many, well, it doesn't really have any key dates, really. It does have some pretty cool varieties. I'm not much into the variety game, trying to find errors and that sort of stuff. It's just not something that I can dedicate a lot of time to. That's a 61, a 62. We got another 61, a 58, 1958 Benji. Nice Liberty Bell on the back. Another 58. And then one more 58. Here's a 54. This one's a little bit worn. That was a 54, and here's a 59. They minted these all the way up to 63 was the last year for the Benjis. And actually, right here, 63. This was the last year the Benji was made. Then we went to the Kennedys. There's another 63 right here. 63. This one's still got some really good luster on it. It looks nice. Nice Liberty Bell. And a 61. Followed by a 58. No key dates, and another 58 right here. So next up, let us do some quarters, because I got a lot of quarters that I got to go through. So let's check out some of these quarters. We're going to try to find any key dates. I'm not 100% sure if there's any in here or not. I don't think we'll find any key dates, or at least any of the major ones. We might find some semi-key dates. I'm sure we'll find a lot of commons. There'll probably be a lot of 50s, a lot of 60s in here. Those are not really any key dates, but we might find some that are in fairly good condition. So we're just going to go over them real quick. 64, 64. Some of the major key dates, of course, that we're looking for is like the 32D, the 32S, 36D, 37D. Those are the some of the better ones. We got the 38s as well. 39, 39S. So let's just go ahead and start digging through these. Another 64. Right here's a 48. Oldest we found so far, but still very common is the 48. A 64. Followed by a 1952. 1952 Washington quarter. Very common. And a 61, another common. Here's a nice looking 64. 1964, still have really good luster. Still have a lot of good detail. Nice cartwheel on it. And that's a good one. And another 64. This one's not as good condition as the other, but still has its full weight. And a 63. Still nothing good. Nothing at least close to a key date. Another 64. Let's see where this is. Ooh, a 1942. 1942. Might be an S. If it's an S, it'll be a semi-key date. But let's take a look and see if we got... Hey, look at that. It is a 1942 S. It's a semi-key date, not necessarily a high-ticket one, but really cool. 1942 S. We found one so far. Semi-key date. I'll put that one in its own pile. Next up, we got a 1944. Another common. 45. Another common. A 52. Common. Pretty much all of the 50s, well, except for 1950 has a few that are like errors, like the D over S or the S over D. This one looks nice. And here's a 1952 with some gunk on it. It's common. And a 57. That's common. Here's a 64 that looks to be an okay shape, except for that looks like there's some browning on the cheek. All right, let's grab another stack. Here's another little stack right here. We got a 64, pretty good condition. This right here is a 1951. 1951, very common. If it was 1950, it'd be a different story. Oop. Next up, a 1964. Looks to be in pretty good shape as well. A 53, common. 64. A 41. 41 is common. Not much special about the 41. 40 is the one we want to look for. And a 42. The 42, can we have another one? Another 42S, maybe. Let's find out. And no mint mark. So it is a common, a 1942P, Pennsylvania. Here is a 1946, common. And a, what is that, 61, that's another common. 62 is common. And this one, 1942. 1942, can it be a D? Nope. It is a 1942P. That is common. I either need an S, which is a semi-key date, or a D. If it was a D, it might have the, might be a double die. But like I said, I'm not much into the errors, the double dies, the varieties. I'm not really much into that. I just want to find the straight up key dates. Here's a 63. That's common. A 61 is common. Here's a 64. Looks to be in good detail. Another 64, good detail. Here's another 64, good detail. And a 62 that has some pretty good detail on it. Look at that. Not bad. Next up is a 1960. Common. Here's a 42. 42. Can it be another S? 1942. And let's turn it around. No mint mark. 1942P is common. And let's see. A 63. Common. Another 42. Man, we've been getting a lot of 1942s. Let's see, 1942S. Let's see what we got. And it's another P. Another Pennsylvania. No mint mark means that it is minted in Pennsylvania. In 1942, Pennsylvania is common. Next up is a 62. Look at that 62. Still has really good detail on that guy. And a 52, another one. Oh, wait, that was a 52. First one was a 62. This one right here looks to be in good shape. Let's see what it is. A 64. 1964. And a 53 common. 64 with some decent luster on it. Nice detail. 1964, what is that? A D, an S, it's a D. And last up, 63. That's common. So far, the only one that has been semi-key date is this 1942. Let's see if we can get closer. 1942S. Look at that. Just wish it was in better condition, but still a semi-key date. I still got a lot of quarters to look through, guys. This is going to be one long video. So sit back and let's see what we can find. Because this is a 64. It's common. And a 60. 1960, that's common. Here's a 63, that's common. Let's check what this is. This is a 64. And another 64. A 19, what is that, 48? A 1948 is common. This one is pretty worn. But 1948 goes in the common pile. 1964. And a 41, common. 51 is common. And here's another 64. Looks to be in good shape. And a 1960. Looks to be in good shape as well. 64. Common. Hey, look at that. It is a shield quarter. Not sure which year it is. Pretty worn. But nice shield quarter in this lot of constitutional silver. That would also go in the junk silver pile. Here's a 64. 1964. A 51 is common. 1951. Ooh, look at this 64. This one looks really nice. Nice luster all over the place on this one. Still has cartwheel. Let's look at that reverse. Check that out. Still looks to be in very good condition. And it's a D. Nice. Nice find. And here's a 62 common. A 43. 43. Let's see. We can either find double dies, and I think in the 43 there's a double die. Really hard to see without a microscope, but I don't think this is a double die. Yeah, if it was a double die, it would be worth a lot of money, but just common. So here's a 64. Looks to be in good shape as well. And a 62. Still got a ton of quarters to go. We still got a ton of stacks. Let's keep on rolling. Here's a 64. I'll see if I can go a little faster, guys. 64, another 64. What do we got here? We got a 48, which is a common. What year is, what mint mark? This is a D. 48D. But it's common. Here's another 64. Ooh, 64, really good condition one. Look at that. That's a really nice one. Another 64. 51, common. 64. Another 64. One more 64. Ooh, look at that one. That's a really nice 64 right there. That one will go in the really nice pile. Dropped one. 63, that's common. 64, common. Look at this one right here. Ooh, that's a 42. That's a 1942. This one's in much better shape than this one, than the only other key date that semi-key date that we found. So let's see. Can this be a 1942S? Look at that luster on that guy. Let's check it out. It is a... it's a P. 1942P is common, but is a really good condition coin. We'll put that one aside. Let's keep on trucking. 53, common. Next up, we have a 64, that's common. A 58, common. This right here, 61, common. We got a 64, that's common. Another 64, common. 56 is common. And 63, common. 42. I didn't look at the mint mark, so let's see. Is it another 42S? There've been a lot of 42s in here. This is a 42P. That is common. Got this one. Ooh, look, this looks like it's in good condition. 1964. Very, very common, but still in good condition. Another 64. Here's a 64. Not bad. Look at this worn out one. Ooh, let's check this out. This is a 19, I believe that's 36. 1936. It can't be 26 because they did not have the Washington quarters in 26. So, 1936. We're looking for a D. Let's see if it has a D, then it would be a really good key date. And no. Well, maybe. I don't know. Let me look at that with the magnifying glass. And we'll check it out. Yeah, it does look like there's something there, but it's pretty worn. I need a different look at a different one for comparison. Let's see. You know, I think this might be a D. I don't know if I can get it in there, but there's not enough light. But it does look like there is something there. It's just pretty worn. Yeah, I can't get it. Let me see if the camera will pick it up by itself. No. You see it right there? Right where the mint mark's supposed to be? Does kind of look like there's one there. So this might actually be a 1936D. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. What's going on with my camera? My camera went a little funky for a minute, but it's back now. So here is the 1936, and that looks like a D. It is pretty worn, but I believe that's a D, guys. Can you see it? See it right there? And my phone's ringing. Perfect. So let's go ahead and move on. We got a 64. Let's see what else we got. A 60 right here. A 59. 1959. This one looks, looked like in really good condition when you look at the reverse. But then when you get to the obverse, it's got all of those spots. But it still has a really nice cartwheel. Yeah. We'll put it over here in the OK pile. A 63. And here's the 1935. We're starting to get to the older ones. A 35 is pretty common though, so it will go in the common pile. 1964, nice quarter. And here's a 61. Another 64. And here's a 46. 1946. Pretty common, but older coins. Look at this guy. Here's a 1941. Nah, nothing good about the 41s. Common. And up next, we have a 1935. Again, 35 is common year, but getting to the early quarters, here's a 1950. That's common. This one looks to be in okay shape. It's a 62. And a 64 in really good condition. It does have a scratch, but that's all right. 64 is common. 64 is common. 51 is common. A 63 in okay condition. Here's another 41, but that is common. And 49. 1949 could be a semi-key date. A 49, the Pennsylvania and the Delaware, the D, are both semi-key dates. So let's see what we got. We got a 1949D, another semi-key date. 1949D, guys. Sweet. So far, we got this 49D, the 42D, and this 36D. Well, 36D that I might have to do some more research on. Or I need to look at it further, because it does look like it's a D, but it's kind of worn. So, I don't know. We'll figure that out. All right, let's keep on rolling. Oop, we made a nice dent in these quarters. A nice dent. So here's another 64 that's in pretty good shape. 62 is common. 63 is common. 64 in pretty good shape as well. 63 common. We want to try to fly through these. 64 in pretty good condition. Here's a 48. 48, but that is a common. I got these two on the side for some reason. Here's a 57. That is common. Look at this one. Looks to be in good shape. It is a 64 in pretty good condition. 63 common. Ooh, look at that. A 1939. I'll put that one aside. We'll see what mint mark that is as soon as I get rid of this pile. Here is a 57. Look at that, 1957. Ooh, a 1934. I think this is the oldest coin that we found so far. But the 34 has the double die. I believe it has the double die in the motto. So I'll put that one aside. Look at that, another shield quarter right here. Dateless. Can't really see the date on this guy. Pretty worn. But another shield quarter just hanging around in this lot of 90% constitutional silver. Here's a 64 in pretty good condition. A 45. 45 is common. But I like seeing the older ones in the 60s and the 50s. Next up, we have another 1945. And a 41, common. 52, common. 61, common. 62, common. And 56, common. Those are all commons. Let's go back to this 1939. Let's see. If it's an S, it would be a key date. If it's a D, it will be a semi, I guess, key date. Let's see what it is. 1939. And it is a D. 1939D. So, a semi-ish key date. Not the best, but still really nice. So we found a couple of semis, and we found one that I think is an actual key date. And then this 1934, which the double die would be in the motto. And I think the 34, I think the 34 also has different varieties with the, if it's the heavy wee or if it's the light wee. This one looks like it's the heavy. So it is the 1934 heavy D, or heavy wee, excuse me. So put that one aside. Still got a couple piles left, but we're almost done. Well, I shouldn't say almost done. 1964. And look at that. A 1936. 1936. We'll check that one for key date in just a little bit. If it's a D, we're in the money. So, just like the other one we found. Here's a 54 that is common. 64 is common. 61 is common. And let's check these. Here's a 1956. Looks to be in pretty decent condition. Not bad. A 48. 48 is common. Another 48 is common. This is a 44, which is also common. And 59 is common. A 43. If it's the 43S, we could be a semi-key date. So 1944. A 55 is common. 51 is common. 62 is common. 64, this one looks like in some decent shape. Put that one over there. The decent shape pile. 54 is common. 64 is common. This one is a 47. 47, 64. Someone's here. 64, 61, 61. I'll be back. And I'm back. Forgot where I was, so let's start here. 1959 common. 1962 is common. So we have this 36 and this 43. So let's check the 36 first. 36, if it is a D, it would be another key date. Let's check it out. And it is another one that is pretty worn. This one does not look like it has a D. Let me check with my magnifying glass. And this one 100% does not have a mint mark. So 1936 Pennsylvania is a common coin. But I'll put it over here just to keep it aside. And a 43. So let's check out this 43. If it's an S, it will be a semi-key date. And it would also have a double die. So let's see, 1943. And it is a P. 1943P is common. Let's see if there's a double die on the date, which doesn't look like it. But again, with these double dies, it's very, very hard to see. Very hard to notice. This one just looks like a regular 1943. So that is a common 1943P. It is a standard coin. All right. We got a couple of piles left. Here's a 64 that's common, 64 that's common, 64 that's common. I'm going to go ahead and try to wheeze through these for you guys. Here's a 54 that's common. This 64 looks pretty good. We'll put that over there with the good ones. A 53 that's common. A 64 looks to be in okay shape. And my okay shape ones are starting to take over. A 64, that looks in really good shape. Put that one over here. 61 is common. These two right here, we got a 50. That is could be an S over D, but there's a mint mark there. We'll check that out. And here is a 1944. 1944. Common. So here's a 64. Looks to be in okay shape. A 61 in okay shape. A 64 in pretty good shape. Look at that. And this one right here looks like it's seen better days. It's a 43. We can check to see if it's a 43S. Here's a 42. We can check that one to see if it's a 42S. Another 42. And a 41. That one is common. 64 is common. So 54. That is common. A 49. A 49, either a Pennsylvania or a D is a better date. 64. Pretty good shape. A 63 common. 58 common. 47 is common. And a 64 common as well. So in this batch, we got all of those that could be better dates. Let's check out this D over S. or the 1950. Let's see if that's a D over S, which I don't think it is. It just looks like a standard D. Let's take a look. And that is just a D. Just a D. So that one is common. Next up, 1942. If this is a 1942S, it could be better date, but let's take a look. And it is a 1942P. It is a common. 1942 common coin. Next up is this 43. Let's check to see if it is a S. 1943S. And look at that. 1943S right here. Looks to be in not the best shape in the world, but it is a better date for the Washington quarters. Look at that. 1943 Washington quarter. So, 42. Let's check out this 42. Let's see if it's a 42S. Can it be a 42S? And it is a no mint mark. So it's just a regular quarter. And 1949, here we go. Oop, let's see if this is the P or if it's the D. Let's check it out now. And 1949. And it is a P. Common, but, or not common. Nice key date. Semi. Sorry guys, had somebody come in to the store. So let's finish up these piles. I got just a few piles left. Here is a 1964 in pretty good condition. This one's not so good condition. It's common. Another 64 that's good, and 64 that's not. 64 that looks okay. 64 that does not. 64 that looks okay. And here's a 1943. 1943. I had to scratch my head. And put that down here. And another 1964 in okay condition. Oh, my okay condition pile is toppling over. And here's another 64 in okay condition. Another 64 in fairly good condition. And here's a 1945, which is a common quarter. This one looks to be in decent shape, and it is a 1964. Here is a 43. Put that over here with this other 43 to check to see if it's a key date. Here's a 37. Look at that. 1937. We can put that down here, and we will check into that. And a 36. Oh, another 30. Man, look at that. And a 39. 3 older dates all in one stack. So I got these 5 that I'm going to have to check to see if they're key dates. We'll keep them on camera for you guys. There we go. Let's check this other stack. And here's a 64 in fairly good condition. Here is a 44. That one is common. 64. Look at that. There's a Mercury dime just hanging around in here. A 64 common. That's common. Here's a 44. That is common. And we got a 64 that's in good shape. Another 64 in good shape. A 47. 47. And let's check this one. 64 in okay condition. And some lint. 64 in okay condition. 64 in okay condition. Now let's check. Here's another 64. Not the best condition. A 61. Here's a 61. And right here, look at that. 1940, which could be a 40D or a 40S. We will check as soon as I finish going through these piles, because I'm so close to being done. 63. And here's a 54 and a 60. 64 in okay condition. Another shield quarter. I think that's like number 3. But this one is no date. Don't know what it is. And another one. Here's a 4th one. and a 46. Let me fix my pile, my hands. My hands are getting sweaty. Here's a 1946, that is common. Here's a 1953, that is common as well. 63, that is common. Here's a 46. That one is common as well. And what is that, a 43? That one looks to be in okay shape. Here's a 62 in okay shape as well. And here's a 60 common and a 56. Common. All right, guys, here is the last stack of quarters. Whew. Man, this is going to be one long video. But we found some semi-key dates. Here's a 61. That one is common. Here is a 42. I didn't look at the mint mark, but we'll put that down here. It could be a 42S, and if it is, then it would be a semi-key date. Here's a 52, that is common. A 48, that is common. 51, that is common. 44, common as well. And 62 is common. 53 is common. And here's a 61, that is common. And 42, 42, that can go there. Hey, look, another one. Another shield. That's like number 5 in the bunch. Number 5 in the bunch. Here's a 64, that's in good shape. Another 64 in good shape. A 58 in okay shape. Oh. Sorry, something caught my attention over there. And 62, that is common. 64 in okay shape. 62 in okay shape. 64 can go over there. This one looks really nice. It's another 64. And here is a 58. A 58 is common. Just got a few left, guys. Turn all of these guys. All right, here we go. 64 with some gunk on it. 64, that looks to be in some better condition. Put that right over there. And here is a 1951. 1951. And we got a 1945. That's common. And let's see. The 1964. And the last one is a 1947, which is common. We just looked through all of those quarters. It was tiring. And I still have all of these Mercury dimes that I need to look through. Holy smokes, I'm going to have to cut this into another video. I thought for sure I was going to be able to get through all of this, but I don't know, with all the interruptions, I don't know how long this video has been already. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. It was a lot of fun. But we got these guys right here that we need to check to see if there are any key dates. Let's start with there's 42s, there's some 43s. Here's a 40, 36, 37, 39. Up first, we have this 1940 quarter. If it's, all of the 40s are okay. If it's a 1940D, it would be a nice key date. If it's an S, it would be a semi-key date. But a 40 is also pretty good. So let's see what it is. It is a no mint mark. So it is a P. 1940P would be a semi-key date, but in this condition, I'm not really sure. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the junk silver pile. There it goes. 1942. Let's see what we got. 1942. We're looking for an S. That would be the better date. A D, if it had the double die, but I don't think it is. So let's see what it is. 1942 S. And it is a D. 1940. Oh, is that a D or is that an S? I don't know. It looks like a D. And it is a D, confirmed with the magnifying glass. So 1942D is common unless it's a double die, but I don't think it is. To the junk pile it goes, or the junk silver pile. And here is a 1942. Let's see if it's an S. And another D. Does it have a double die? I don't think so. So it will go into the junk silver pile. Now we got 43s. Man, I'm getting tired. So 43, looking for the S, 1943 S, and it is a no mint mark. No mint mark at 1943. So if it has a double die, I can't really tell. It's pretty worn. That is junk silver pile. Another 1943. Let's see what we got here. It is a 1943 no mint mark. Man. So it would have a double die if it was extremely valuable, but don't think it is. Now we got these last three. We're down to the last three, guys. Last three. So 1936. What we want is a D. 1936D is one of the key dates. So let's check it out. It is a 1936 no mint mark. Man. All right. Got two left. Here's a 37. 37S would be another key date. So let's check it out. Is this a 1937D? And it is a P, no mint mark, Pennsylvania. Put that over there with the 30s. And the last one is this really worn one. So if it's an S, it will be a key date. If it's a D, it would be a better I guess, key date. This is a 1939. Is that a D? Let me check. It looks like a D. 19. It is a D. 1939D. So, semi-key date right here. It is pretty worn. This is what we call an album filler. If you need one to fill an album, this one will go right there to fill in that 1934 or 1939D space. That is what that's for. And here is all of the semi-ish key dates and the key date that we found. Out of all of that pile, we found 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 of them. So, but we found a lot of really nice looking 1964s. Like here's one of them right here. So, those are pretty nice. Take those out of here. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and do the Mercury dimes in another video. I might not do it today because after looking at all of those quarters, I'm pretty tired. So, when I do that video, I'll come back to this one and I'll link it right up there somewhere. Right there, if my finger would focus. Come on, focus. Right there. And we will continue searching to see if we can find any key date Mercury dimes. So until then, thank you guys so much for liking this video. Make sure you subscribe to the video. It really does help people find it in their searches. And it shows YouTube that this is content that people want to see. So, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.